took a lot longer than I anticipated. Welcome back to God. I'm not even going to pretend to know the answer of the number of episode of Pop Goes the Zebra. We missed you. I missed you, Jesse. I missed you so much. Oh my God. Potato salad. Anyway, after a very long and unintended hiatus, we apologize. We are back, tickling your ears and hopefully driving some people up the wall. Jeremy the ref, Jesse the ref, and we are joined by Allison the ref. And it's just a whole ref party. In fact, yes, it is a party. I got the booze going already. It's going to be a good one. Gentlemen and lady.
I need to get a beer.
I was like, I'm already.
You could go get a beer while I chew the fat with Jesse real quick. You're completely excused.
Chew the
fat. Will
get
to you. Chew the fat.
Yes.
Steak.
Yeah.
Jesse.
I could go for some corn right now.
Oh, in due time, my friend. Don't jump the shark, Fonzie, whatever. Judas in my mind. Oh, sorry. It's been a while. I've been cooped up, locked up, held against my will. Okay, I wasn't held against my will or locked up or any of that, but it's just a saying. But anyway, Jesse, what have you been up to, man? And Allison, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Jesse, since we last spoke, what have you been up to?
Things
and stuff and things.
Yeah, stuff, Lori, things
and stuff.
Yeah,
Gimmicks,
had a whole lot go on. Moved, transitioned jobs a couple times.
There you go.
Had fun with wrestling. Had a lot of not so fun with wrestling. Mental health took a massive decline about a month and a half ago. So I'm here.
There you go. Well, we're glad you're here. We're glad that you're still fighting the good fight. Yeah, that's some of that's cool, some of that's bummer, but hopefully we're going to bring the nose up on the plane a little bit, as it were. I've been a little busy. Last summer, towards the tail end of the season, I joined a wiffle ball league, a professional wiffle ball league team, and this year I was my first full season. I joined the league again, and I was drafted and I was an honorary Mandalorian, man. This is the way. So shout out to the boys, to John, to Derek, to Chandler. We had a good year. We made it to the semifinals of the league, and yeah, that's what I've been up to the last 4 months or so. And now I'm back to studying for the mortgage licensing originators test from the state test that I talked about on social media. I'm not sure if I dropped it here on the platform, but if not, I apologize. But that's what I've kind of been up to. So yeah, it's been a crazy summer so far. We're starting to get towards the dog days of it, the tail end of it, but
comfortable weather finally.
Well, one man's treasure is another man's trash. I like it hot. I don't like it cold. I don't like it cold. It's kind of why you never see me go outside when the white stuff falls. I'm not a White Walker, I know nothing about their ways, Jon Snow. But anyway, yeah, that's what I've been up to. A little bit of wrestling here and there. I had the honor of working with Women's Wrestling Army. That was cool. But outside of that, not a whole lot that's changed. Everything's kind of status quo. Still up here living with my wonderful woman. Yeah, just working and joking and, well, not smoking so much, but living the dream.
Yeah, no, that's always important. Yeah, like I said, summer's been crazy for me, just with a lot of things going on. I did with GCW, I get to referee my first official world title match last month, so that was actually a pretty cool little moment.
World.
I was there for it. It was magical.
Yeah, we went on at 1:45 in the morning.
Yep.
It was terrible. I was so hyped up for like a couple hours, and then we were getting closer, and I'm like, it's way past my bedtime.
See, this is why I'm winding down
Mhm.
towards the end of it all. I have determined I am a grouchy, crotchety old man. These late starts are just not for me anymore. I cannot live the rock star lifestyle any longer. I relish these 3 and 4 o'clock afternoon starts now. 7 o'clock, okay,
Oh, hell yeah.
depending on the show, but these 11, 12, 1 o'clock shows are
Well,
not for the old man anymore.
looking at 3 cups stuffed, it's going
4.
on at, or is it 4? 3 or 4? How many cups are we gonna
3
stuff
was
at-
last year. We
There's-
started. It's weird. It's kind of like Star Wars. We started out of order because we started with 2, then we did 3, then COVID happened, then we did 3. I can't remember, but yeah, now we're at 4. It's
Yeah,
the third
so-
one, but it's numbered as 4.
Yeah, and that start time is on a Friday night at 11 p.m. And I'm just like,
No.
We're all gonna
all-
die.
my flight gets into Chicago
Even like
around like 3, so I'm gonna have like 9 hours to 8-9 hours to kill.
Sleep. Trust me.
chilling in the pool.
That's the plan.
Yeah, or sleeping in the pool.
Both.
Also an option. Yeah, one.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah,
hold
no,
on. I'm doing that wrong. Just vibing in the
There
pool.
it is.
Man. Just vibing in the pool. This is the
Yeah,
way. Oh yeah, this is the way is absolutely becoming a new thing on this show because, as mentioned, that was all you heard at the fields was "This is the way."
Yeah.
So yeah, get used to a
Yeah.
lot of that.
No, see, there's certain like in jokes and certain like things like that I want to have going. I really wish more people were into a show called For All Mankind, so that way I can make the Hi Bob reference to people.
Hi, Bob.
Nobody else will get.
I don't get it, but we'll put a little pin in that because, as stated earlier, we have a special guest. We're coming out of the gate strong. We've got a guest, Allison. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I have heard great things about this show. Back when I was in Zebra Talk, I saw this podcast come
What's
up
Zebra
all the
Talk?
time.
The fuck is
It
Zebra Talk?
was
Isn't
it
that
was
a
a
cult?
gathering of refs, much like the gathering of juggalos.
Isn't it
Yes,
a
it's a little
cult?
bit of a cult.
I thought so. Yeah, they got a cult leader, so I would think it is a cult. It is run by a cult leader.
Back when I was in a group of zebras, that we mentioned cool things and things were cool once upon a time.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Before the dark
Yes.
times. Before the
So-
dark times.
Yes,
Before the
so I'm
canceling.
excited to be here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, Allison, how are you doing? Let's get a little background on you. For those that don't know, Allison is a referee. Talk to us about how you got into the business, Allison. Let's get the softball questions out of the way.
Yes.
Well, wiffle ball, as it were.
So, wiffle ball, which goes much further, or it doesn't. I don't.
It
know.
does
I've never
not.
played. But it doesn't. Okay, great. Yeah. So I was in California. I've been a Muay Thai fighter for a long time, not professionally by any means, just recreationally. And I thought, I'm pretty good at getting punched in the face. I should maybe try and wrestle. And in that time, I went to a show and they were like, "Hey, can you referee?" And I was like, "Sure." So I got a 5-minute lesson on reffing because they didn't have a ref, and I reffed and I loved it. And people were like, "You should just do that." So that's what I'm doing. 3 or 4 years later now. I think 3 years later.
Boy, can we relate to that?
Here,
Right?
try
It
not
just-
to suck.
Here, try not to suck. Here you go.
Yeah.
We
it
were
is-
trying not to
greatness
suck
is thrust
before it was a
upon you.
t-shirt.
Ah,
But, so
true.
you kind of got thrown in feet first. When did you know that this was for you? What was kind of the, as I call it, the aha moment?
Well, I don't know. It just wrestling was going to be difficult for me. I'm not an athletic person. Reffing alone is as athletic as I get. So just during that show, I was like, "Yeah, this is the way," as someone I know once said, in a reference to a TV show, I think. And
we'll get to that.
Yeah, it was that whole show, by the way, was a perfect place to ref and suck because it was a weed festival in the desert and nobody knew what the hell was going on. So it did not matter what I did so it was perfect.
You still got the contact information? I mean, your boy's still trying to branch out. I mean, what's up? But no,
I don't know if you want that experience.
Hey man, I'm over here. I got a friend that does the gathering of the Juggalos, so I hear all sorts of fun stories, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm kind of curious. I would love to like what's up? What's up?
I think we should do it at least one time just for the experience.
He showed up.
I did end up doing.
And he's like, I just walked in and Sir Mix-a-Lot is just now getting on the stage. I was like, what? Yes. I didn't even know he was still alive.
Man, I thought the weed festival was cool, and now it pales in comparison. I could have been doing Gathering of the Juggalos.
Give it time.
Whoop whoop. So you've been in about 3 years. Who have been your big influences so far?
Oh yeah, so my main trainer was Aubrey Edwards, which I was super lucky to have her. We connected over Facebook. I was like, hello, I am just eating shit on this pay-per-view that they put me on, and please help. And so she would, we would do Zoom together, and she would watch my matches and just critique every detail. And I had like pages and pages of notes. And over time, I got a lot better because of her. And she's like kind of always been there for me. So her, Nick Bonanno, who's one of the best allies as a referee, just one of the best people I know. Jeremy Marcus. Yeah, those were some zebras that really helped me out in the beginning.
Outstanding. It's always good to have people looking out for you. So what are your goals in all of this? What are you trying to do in the world of professional wrestling? We're allowed to say wrestling again, right? I think we're allowed to call it wrestling. Okay. I'm kind of behind on the times.
Yeah, no longer sports entertainment. I heard if you say that, you will be like fired. So
Canceled.
It's not that. Yeah, I want to be signed, It's tough. When I started, I didn't realize this, but I'm a bit tall for a ref, especially female refs. So I'm not sure if I'll ever be signed because of things that are out of my control, really. But I'm going to keep trying at it until it's just not going to happen. So
there you go. And you never know. There's been a changing of the guard across the board. A lot of what I call the 1960s rules are no longer in effect. So you never know, man. I can guarantee you will not get signed if you never try.
Yep.
I promise you that 100%.
Yeah.
So keep going.
Too true.
Keep marching to the beat of the drum, soldier. So, all right. So we have established what we've been up to. We have talked to our guest. We have made a few jokes, and we're barely 10 minutes into this thing. I think we're setting a record here, folks.
Shit it and get it, baby.
Woohoo, doggy.
Velocity times are bust. Yeah.
There you go. Did you? So I think moving on to current events, I think it's now we're allowed, I think I said it in the group chat, we're allowed to talk about it since it's been talked about. All three of us are going to be doing a little bit of business here in about a month. Whoop whoop. But this is the way. Warrior Wrestling is coming back for its 25th episode. Hard to believe, 25. And I'm the only guy that can say he's been at on every one of those shows. That's
wow, seriously.
Yeah. That's how you make a zebra feel old. Hey, you've been to every single one of these things. But Warrior Wrestling's coming back, and I'm bringing some friends. Jesse and Allie are coming. They will be they'll be helping fly the ship in the stripes. It's gonna be a good time. Already announced are the Lucha Brothers. They're gonna be rolling back into a town near you. I actually saw the Lucha Brothers for the very first time in Chicago years and years ago, and I was immediately hooked, like within the first minute. So seeing them back always makes me smile because I love the Lucha Brothers. They're great human beings. I cannot wait. You guys, both of you have been to Warrior Wrestling, and both of you are coming back to Warrior Wrestling. How do you feel?
I'm definitely looking forward to it. Out of all the locker rooms that I've been in, Warrior is probably one of the top two in terms of like,
I agree,
camaraderie, positivity, just an all around good feeling. Like it's a great place to be at. I'm kind of in a position now where I'm not taking bookings outside of certain companies, but Warrior is always on that list of, hey, if they ever need somebody, yes, I'll go work for Warrior.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's just such a good place.
It is. It's one of the most positive locker rooms I've been in. Both the promoters are really nice dudes, and they just gave off these hugely pleasant vibes.
Steve and Eric are the
I-
two nicest people you will ever meet in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I said it.
And like, we buried the lead. Dan Perch is going to be there, I assume. And we live and breathe. Okay, well, I guess I'm not going then. But no, it's still worth it.
Well,
but
it was
I did get
nice
to hang
having
out
you
with
while
Dan
we
Perch last time.
There you go.
No,
we'll see Perchy next weekend.
Yeah, Perch will be here.
True.
Next weekend.
This
weekend.
Specifically something Perch is doing on one of the shows, and I'm actually very proud of him, and I'm also very scared for him.
It's Dan Perch. It's if ever there was a picture of what In the Bag looks like,
yeah,
it's Dan Perch.
Oh yeah,
we stand Dan Perch on this podcast. We stand him very hard.
Yes.
So hard. But no,
one of the nicest people I've met in wrestling.
That's why I hired him. I love getting to say that. I hired Dan Perch.
Oh,
I did. When I was officially made senior official there, one of the first jobs I had was finding a new full-time referee, and the very first person I thought of was Dan Perch. I said, this is a dude, this is on the up and up, and he's going places, and we want to get in on the ground floor with him. So brought him in, and I'm wanting to say the first match he had there was Daga and Isaiah Velasquez. I can't be 100% certain,
wow.
But he went in there, and brother, it was smoother than butter on a piece of bread, you know. It was beautiful. Yeah. So he's my number one draft pick, so to speak.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
Definitely looking forward to seeing Perchy next weekend. So,
oh my gosh, Jesse, he's so excited to see you too, and Allie,
nobody
too.
is excited to see me. This is
gotta get that Wisconsin accent.
Oh yeah.
Oh guys, hey, do you want me to get you a nice little cup of coffee? I'm getting ready to run down to the Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
God, I need to get him in Canada just so I can say, so go get some Timmy's. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go get some Timmy's. It's gonna be so good.
He'll fit right in.
I will tell you this much: doing coffee runs with Dan Perch is amazing because, like, he knows all the different coffees for everybody. He doesn't need a list. He's a coffee connoisseur.
I want to know. I've never ridden in a vehicle with Dan Perch before. I want to know what it sounds like when he gets the aux cable.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, Eagles were playing.
Ooh.
Classic.
Yeah. I can see it.
I want to say in the short trip that we went from where we were in Dallas to the closest Starbucks, it was like a 3 or 4 minute drive. So I definitely remember Eagles being on. I think Steely Dan came up at one point. So
That's
like,
got the classic rock going.
And it wasn't like your radio classics. They were like your filler tracks that were also bangers.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
He is classic rock. He just is the embodiment.
It makes sense for him. Like, you just kind of look at somebody and you're like, yeah, I kind of pictured you liking that kind of music. So he's definitely those, like, I wouldn't say classic rock. It's kind of like that easy listening 70s rock.
You're listening to the classic rock easy listening station here
So,
on
like,
103.7. The
So you
smooth.
can see like Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, Doobie Brothers, Steely
Here
Dan.
you come again, you say you want your freedom. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go drop a Fleetwood Mac vinyl on the record player because of that. I got rumors. I can toss it on.
Jesse, did you go to the My Chemical Romance show that was in Nashville yesterday?
No, I did not because I'm not an emo kid. I was not an emo kid in high school. I was the classic rock kid. So unfortunately, no. I wanted to go see Blondie last night, and
Blondie, music's down at TV in high school. Sorry, every time I hear the name Blondie, I just immediately think of Bowling for Soup in 1985.
Well, Blondie's a pretty stellar band. So
way before Nirvana.
Yes,
way before.
Plus, I think everybody would be game for that really cool picture idea that you wanted to do, Allie.
There's a Blondie. Yeah, there's a great album cover with Blondie in the middle and like men in suits. We'll have to have like a 5-ref crew, but I think.
Oh no, the crew is
next weekend. We will.
Galt, Recon, Perch, Kennedy, myself, you.
Oh, I did meet Kennedy last week, and he was great. He was super cool to work with.
Oh yeah, yes. Adam.
We did WrestleMax, and the ring was the softest freaking ring of my life. It's the same ring that Grandel uses, and it was just cushions, y'all.
So the ring that we used in Charlotte was AML's ring, and it may have been the nicest ring to count on. It was, the padding was so soft. Like, my counts are loud as is, but like this made them thunder. And I was like, yes. Recon and I were like, yeah, we're going to go out there and really drive our arms through the mat. It's super, super great. The ring that we had in Atlanta was stiff and uncomfortable. I think it's the same ring that we had last time we were there. I mean, it's good for what it is, but as a referee, it's just like, now my hands got to hit that mat and it hurt.
Yeah, I guess getting bumped on it would be worse for the wrestlers. But what about our arms, guys? Come on.
I have taken more bumps in the last 3 months than I probably had taken in the last 5 years combined. And I'm trying to figure out how that happened. I
saw a GIF Max the Impaler posted of them blasting you.
I don't remember that.
I saw that.
I only remember being in the ring saying, hey, stop that. And the next thing you know, I'm on a beach somewhere with a Hawaiian drink, just at ease with life. It was a peaceful, easy feeling.
You can hear the Beach Boys Kokomo playing in the background.
Lay down in Kokomo.
That's been in my head all day, and I cannot figure out why.
And when I think of that, I think
bump that you've taken.
Oh, the moonsault from PCO at MLW has to be mine, because that was in front of like 5,000 people.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
I really don't know. I don't really have one that I can think of that was a favorite. I think maybe taking
the one that hurt the least.
Everybody knows Crimson as Crimson, but I knew him before he was Crimson, and he used to call his finish the Mercy Kill. And it's whatever he called it when he was with TNA, but I took that from him one time, and it was the weirdest thing, because he swings you out, and you feel like you're gonna take a back bump, then he snaps you for a face bump, and it was like the weirdest roller coaster ride. Never felt a thing, but I think that may have been the coolest one I've taken.
That's cool.
I was a lot lighter back then too.
Well, you asked the question, as I say.
Yes, I got to work with James Ellsworth at a show in Mississippi. And he asked if I was comfortable taking a super kick. And I said, sure, whatever. And then he came up to me and was like, I'm not going to super kick you. I was like, okay. He's like, I'm going to chop you. was like, okay. So the spot was that,
He chops you.
that his opponent kicks out and he gets really mad and gets me in the corner and he chopped the absolute F out of me. And the whole crowd was like, and I just was about to throw it out. And I was like, you know what? And I pulled him in the corner and gave him 3 good chops and did the Ric Flair. Woo!
See?
And then,
okay, see, I did the exact same thing with him, but he leaned forward and I blasted him right in the face.
Really?
So that's why he has no chin.
No, if he had had a chin, he would have been fine. But I hit it 1, 2, and I went for the third one, and he kept rocking back and forth. And he leaned forward, like as I was coming in, and it just went plop. And he's screaming at me, "Fuck you! You broke my fucking nose!" And I'm like, "It's not even bleeding, dude." And he had this fucking meltdown in the locker room. And yeah, fuck James Ellsworth.
Really?
I should have broken his fucking nose when I had the chance.
Man.
Well, I mean,
I didn't.
Yeah, he was a dickbag to everybody at that show. And he did the same thing with me. He was like, "I want you to do this, this, and this." And I kind of was like, "I don't think the referee should be doing that." And I said, "I'll do this," because I didn't feel comfortable picking him up and slamming him or doing something else. I was like, I don't want to do that.
Do it. Who cares?
Well, at the time, I still had this in my mentality of like, I still want to try to, anything that I do is going to be seen. So I don't want to do anything that makes me look dumb as a ref. Like, why is a referee picking somebody up and slamming somebody?
Well, if you don't want to look dumb as a ref, the first mistake you made was putting the shirt on.
Well, like I said, this was 2018. So yeah, it was one of those things. I was just like, I wasn't comfortable doing the several things that he asked. And so what we agreed upon was the chop thing. Because I said, how the fuck can I fuck that up? Well, apparently I can chop him in the face. I've got the video of it. I've got the video of it on YouTube somewhere.
I do want to see that.
Yeah, I can send it to you.
That would be entertaining.
That will not be a problem. And I the same thing. As soon as I hit it, I did the flare strut. And then he swings at me, and I'm supposed to duck, and then the baby face hits him with an atomic drop or something. And
Jesse, I feel not as special because that's the exact freaking spot that he had us do. He just does this with any old ref,
I guess
that was just
so.
sloppy seconds. Yeah.
You told me what we had was special.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's because you're a female ref and it'll be funny. No, I'm just doing any ref.
The worker.
I should have hit him in the face.
You should have hit him in the face.
Oh, well, see, I beat you to that part too.
Yes, you did. You made it your own little twist. So good for you.
The twist. So now that we've discussed the people that we've almost killed in the ring, what's
Pop.
Yeah, fuck that motherfucker. Anyway,
that's an off the air discussion.
Oh yeah, big time. But anyway, let's segue. We talked about it a little earlier. Obviously, I've been throwing this is the way out there. I over the last couple of weeks, I finally caught up on all of the TikTok memes and watched Stranger Things, not just season 4, all of it, because I'd sworn up and down that show was not for me. It just looked stupid. My mother would go on about it, type of thing. Anything your parents tell you, is cool, automatically is not cool. So
like me,
yeah. So I forget what brought it on, but I remember the conversation in the house being, you know what? We said we wouldn't like Game of Thrones. We said we wouldn't like Orange is the New Black. We said we wouldn't like Jersey Shore, et cetera, et cetera. And every single one of these shows we fell in love with. So let's give this a go. We'll give it an episode by episode, kind of trial basis. And we got through the first season and just said, well, I guess we may as well see where this is going. And I'm glad I did, because is everybody caught up on the show?
I've never watched it.
I saw the first 2 seasons. I was like, I'm good.
Spoiler alert, the guitar scene with Eddie that's been making the rounds on TikTok is in fact the most metal scene I have ever seen in a television show. Ever.
Yeah, I've seen
playing
that.
Master of Puppets on top of the freaking camper, and there's just a massive storm going on in the background.
So
fucking fantastic.
I saw a meme where somebody broke down of like, okay, well, this scene's supposed to take place at this time. That means that album came out like 3 weeks beforehand. That means he had to have figured out without tablature how to play that riff. And
that's hardly impressive, because there are people out there all the time that literally learn a song in 5 minutes by ear. If they understand music theory, all they got to do is just figure out what scale they're using and what key they're in, and the rest is magic.
That's, I don't understand music theory, but I can hear a song once or twice, figure out the key, figure out the progression, and then just wing it. At least as a bass player. Guitar player, not so much, but as a bass player.
Master of Puppet.
I noticed that Spirit, they had like a whole Stranger Things section. Everyone's costumes are there. There's like a big gap. And
Hellfire Club.
Goes, that is where the freaking Eddie costume is. Everybody's gonna be Eddie this year.
I'm getting the Hellfire shirt, I think, at some point.
Nice.
I think that might have to end up being on the birthday list or the Christmas list or something. That shirt was pretty dope. But between that and then, of course, catching up and watching Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh,
can we just take a minute? Yeah, we know the show's been out for a while, but we haven't been around for a while. So can we just talk about how freaking terrifying Darth Vader was in that?
Yes.
Like, he was finally boogeyman Darth Vader again.
It was hair-raising, and it was awesome.
I loved the storytelling in the 2 fights. I was like, the first fight, I was like, that's exactly how that needed to go. He absolutely needed to daddy slap him, and here's why. And then that second fight, I was just like, I don't care if it makes plot holes. I don't care if it doesn't make sense. I don't care if you don't think he should have lost. That fight was amazing for so many reasons.
Well, that fight confirms certain things. Like, it made certain references in movies completely canon now. And I'm like, I watched that scene probably 5 or 6 times that night just because of like, that was so fucking cool.
I need there were a couple of things they left on the table that I kind of wish they would do. I don't know if we'll get to see it, but I need that actress deserves the right to carry a scene this big. I need a scene of Darth Vader and young Princess Leia meeting for the first time. I need that. I need the first encounter between Leia and Vader, because we know for a fact they've met. Given her place in the Senate, given his place in the Empire, and given the line that she says, that the lines that she throws out there in episode 4 and when we see Star Wars the first time, they've clearly crossed paths before.
Yeah.
So I want to see how the chess match began between Darth Vader and his unknown daughter. Spoiler alert, Leia is his daughter.
Yeah.
I should not need to say that 40 years later, but here we are. But yeah, I was blown away by how good. Normally the rule is in show business and entertainment, never work with children. Lately, from what the shows I've been watching, I think that has kind of gone by the wayside a little bit, because some of the kid heavy shows that I've seen, the kids have actually knocked it out of the park better than some of the adults.
Oh, the girl that they cast to be young Leia she had every bit of like the mischievous, adventuring Leia that we always thought she could have been, especially being a rebel. Like, it just made sense. She was part of the rebels. She's a rebel. And I absolutely loved it. I thought, I'm in that position where it's like, we don't need any more Star Wars stuff, but I am damn glad that we are getting more Star Wars stuff.
Daddy One Kenobi needed to happen.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if Batman can have all the shit he has, then Star Wars can have all this. There's twice as many characters.
Well,
You are dangerously close to blasphemy, ma'am.
Hey,
I will not hear
I worked in
slander
a comic
against.
shop for 10 years. Okay,
I will not hear slander against Papa Batman.
there's Knife Hand.
I am not slandering. I'm just there are parallels. Okay, we love Batman. Don't worry.
There. Okay.
Got you.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Proceed.
So-
All right. You said the password. You may proceed.
So we know that we're possibly going to get a season 2 of Kenobi. They've kind of teased it. They've teased.
I don't think we need it.
The only reason they need to do it is it needs to be, okay, what kind of dumb shit did Obi-Wan really get into? And let him have like misadventures and let him run into Ahsoka. Let him get the crossover.
No,
No?
not run into Ahsoka. No. Because then you're really, really shitting on the original trilogy.
Yeah, that's just fan service.
Yeah.
Still
Well,
good to watch that.
So we, like I said, we do know we're getting an Ahsoka series. So we've got that.
We'll definitely get some Hayden in
That
there,
makes
which
sense.
we need to talk about that. You want to talk
Ooh.
about a social pariah coming out of the prequel trilogy. None was bigger than Hayden Christensen. He was absolutely dragged through the mud when that series was going on. And as we've come to find out, none of it was his fault. It was the writing that he had to work with.
Yeah.
And I found out that he binge watched all of Clone Wars and all of Rebels to get ready for this. And he doesn't get a lot of FaceTime on screen, but the time that he gets and the care that was taken and put into the performance was masterful. We as a generation do not deserve what we got out of the Kenobi show after how they were treated coming out of that prequel series, in my opinion.
And
Yeah.
I totally understand the hatred of the prequels, and I can justify some of the hatred, but there's a lot of that hatred that just
Misa no understand, Andy.
I actually really like the first movie, and this is going to sound crazy, but it is my favorite Star Wars movie. And here's why. It has so many great ideas in it. It's very original. And then the next two after that, just for some reason,
I've always
fall
said
completely apart. Although they do have good ideas, they're not executed well.
I've always said that the prequel series was a great idea that nobody asked for. Everybody had in their mind that this is how it should be, and they got something else, and like an ungrateful child at Christmas, they all turned their nose up at it, not realizing they'd just been given the keys to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. They didn't want a political movie, but the problem is the fall of the Republic was very political, no matter what way you slice it. Anytime you talk about a changing of the guard, you can't tell a story without the politics behind it. But nobody wanted that in 1999. But looking back on it now, 20 years later, it's pretty damn good. I will never excuse the Jar Jar Binks character.
Yeah, neither will.
Ever. But
but at the time, it kind of made sense with the 90s vibe. And you can't tell me that Darth Maul isn't one of the coolest villains of all,
hands down.
cinema.
Darth Maul is the prequel trilogy's Boba Fett. George Lucas made the same mistake twice.
Yep.
He literally had the coolest character going, and he had nobody standing next to him going, "Look at that motherfucker! You're telling me you don't understand why people wouldn't like him?"
That fucking
gonna
scene,
kill him?
the door opens, there's the lightsaber.
Nobody.
And then the second one, yes. So cool.
Oh,
Same
God.
with
I
Boba
remember
Fett.
flipping out as a kid. I was like, that's the coolest fucking thing ever.
And he had the first double-ended lightsaber, for God's sakes. He had everything going for him. And nope, we're going to kill him. And then only realize later, well, you know what? We kind of screwed the pooch there. So
Retcon.
we should probably bring him back. But shout out to Darth Maul for just being the absolute best. and his stuff since they put him back together has been outstanding. I would like to see some of that. I would absolutely love a Darth Maul series. I don't think
Yeah, where the hell did he come from? You know, like,
well, we know where he came
no story
from,
on
but
it.
like yeah, if you tell that story, then you got to get Ian McDermott, which you just never know how much he's willing to do. He's getting up there in age. He enjoys playing the character. Obviously, it keeps the lights on for him. But
when I met him this year, he looked rough.
You know, same and same with James Earl Jones. We don't know how much time we got left. I approach this Kenobi series as this could be it. This could be the last time.
Yeah.
We know for a fact who's on the other side of that microphone. They could do the CG thing and do the sound effects and get somebody in there and put his voice over it. They've already done it before and it would work.
Yeah.
But once we go through that, breaking news, actor James Earl Jones has passed away at the age of 90, 100, whatever. We're all going to know, and it's not going to be the same. But
it was the same thing with Stan Lee. Like, you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, it's coming. The cameos are going to stop, but it's like,
no, I think they will absolutely use his voice posthumously if they do Darth Vader.
Well, they have found ways to put his image as a cameo, but it's like the physical cameo where he shows up as something, those we knew those were going to stop. And then they were absolutely right, because the movie after he died and they show that credit in memory of Stan Lee, we're all like, yep.
Yeah, I think they will use James's voice posthumously, but I also hope that by the time we get to the point where we have to take that into consideration, there will no longer be a need for the Darth Vader voice because the story has been told. Now, be that as it may, there's also plenty of people out there that have done a passable job as Darth Vader. Is it James Earl Jones? No. But is it a good Darth Vader voice nonetheless? Is it still scary and mechanical? Absolutely. There are still guys out there that can do it.
There's a good Darth Vader comic series. I can't remember who wrote it. I want to say maybe Jason Howard, but I can't remember. Where it's like after he becomes Darth Vader and he lands on this planet and they're like, oh, dude, it's like a Dorothy situation of Wizard of Oz. He like squashes their, tyrant, and they're like, oh, you're like a hero. And he's like, sure. It's through Marvel, and if y'all like Darth Vader, it's one of the best Darth Vader series I've read, because there's a lot of them.
I love a lot of the books. The Rise of Darth Vader novel is one of my favorite books. Oh my gosh, just absolutely cold. But that's kind of been my summer, is just doing that, watching Kenobi, watching The Boys, which, little side note, I saw today that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to join season 4 of The Boys, and I'm so excited.
I have to finish watching that
because did you start it finally?
Yeah, that was the last episode we did. I started it.
Yeah, and I never found out if you started the show or not.
No, I watched that first episode, and I'm like, wow, 5 minutes in, and we're doing that.
You will not talk shit about Billy Joel.
I was just like, holy shit.
Oh, it trust me, it gets worse.
I know it does. And what sucks for me is that I, because of the move and a few other things, I just didn't renew my Amazon subscription. So that's why I haven't been able to watch it. Current situation, not going to be able to watch it for a while, but I want to go back and watch it because Carl Urban. That's all I have to say. You tell me he's in something and I'm going to watch it.
Well, not only that, Giancarlo Espinosa is in it too. And with Jeffrey Dean Morgan being announced, I need a scene between Giancarlo Espinosa and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That would be ultimate nerdgasm city for me.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Those
Gus
two?
And Negan.
Oof.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
I mean, it's worth the price of admission right there, bud.
Oh yeah, bud. Shout out to Dan Perch. His spirit is with us. Yes.
If we had purchased spirit, we'd all be sipping a cup of coffee right now.
Or a brewski. Oh yeah, a brewski. That man, if you put a Miller in front of him, it will be gone quickly.
Why am I not
Really?
Well, he's from Milwaukee.
Did not
What do you
know that.
expect?
No, that's
it's in
True.
their it's in their bottles as babies.
it's
Fair.
true born Packers fans are fed Miller Lite when they're or Miller
the
with their
Packers.
kids.
Mm,
That's right. I
Yeah.
said it. Screw the Packers.
that's okay. You're from Indiana. You can say that. Well, you don't live in Wisconsin.
I hate. Yeah,
I don't
I
know
hate
if you're
it.
from Indiana, actually.
I am from Indiana by way of California. I was born in Bakersfield.
I did not know that.
Wasn't there long. I don't remember any of it. I was gone within a month. So I think I spent more time in Florida than I did in California, but that's not to say I spent much time in Florida either.
Mm.
But that's a story for another day.
He's not the true blue Florida man.
No. Shout out to America's mullet. Uh,
Yes, true.
That is any game that I play where it's like, hey, choose your character name. I'm always Florida man.
Florida man. Oh my
Who
god.
killed me? Florida man.
Well, Jesse, I think we should probably address some business, as it were. We've been kind of chatting a little bit here about it for the last week or so, and made reference to it earlier tonight in chat while we were doing the show. I think that I've seen enough. Allison, not my Allison in front of me. We here at Pop Goes the Zebra have been considering it for a while. And in front of God and everybody, we would like to offer you the position of the third host on Pop Goes the Zebra.
Really?
We would have
I would love to.
We'd have a true blue 3-person crew.
We would love to have a 3-person crew.
I am the guy who kind of keeps things on track, though, if that's okay. If you let me.
Oh,
Well, it was a good run while
that's
it
always
lasted.
been
We
me.
can't have that. No.
That's always been me. That means Jeremy and I can just completely go off the rails now.
She's gonna be
One of us has
mom.
to stay on it.
She's gonna be mom, and we're gonna be the two kids in the back fighting in the back seat the whole time. He's touching me.
Yes.
He's touching me. I will turn this thing around. I swear to God.
I have screamed that.
I
in
am
the locker
honored.
room.
But there you have it, folks. Pop
As you
Goes the Zebra
should.
is now a 1-2 trio. And there you have it, folks. We're coming out of the gate
Right.
hard. Well, then, I think that's it for this evening's festivities. Jesse, it's been a while. I think you still know the way to do it, but
It's not quite Friday yet, but it's definitely close enough.
well, you don't need to tell them what day we're recording. We can release this whenever. But would you kindly do the safety briefing? You're gonna love this. We have our own sign off and everything.
Just
We'll
remember,
figure out a way to. We'll figure out. We'll give you a part. We'll figure it out.
she'll get her own little
Yes.
sign off part. But always remember, you do not add to the population. Please don't subtract from the population. Please don't be the reason why we have the safety briefing on Monday.
And with that being said, this is now the 3-person crew of Pop Goes the Zebra, wishing everyone on Earth a good night. And we'll see you next time. Peace and chicken grease.